GSP, sir. Professor, we'll start the session.
So happy, yes, yes. Happy evening to all. So very good evening to one and a half you present in the student webinar, how to communicate for making a positive impression. On behalf of Department of EEE and my own behalf, I would like to welcome everyone, especially our uh, uh, beloved HOD, Dr. V. Mohan, and our guest of honor, the speaker, our beloved student, Mr. G.Yuvaraj, and participants from one institution and other institutions throughout the country. I welcome you all. And I would like to thank the management, our Chief Executive Officer, Dr. S. Chandrasekhar, our beloved Principal, Dr. S. Ramabalan, our Secretary, Sri S. Parameshwaran, and everyone for conducting this kind of student webinar. So I would like to welcome our beloved HOD to say a few words about our Mr. G.Yuvaraj. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. TSP. So, on behalf of Department of EEE, I once again welcome all the participants for this live webinar. So, this webinar titled "How to Communicate for Making a Positive Impression" is being handled by our third year student, Mr. G.Yuvaraj. He is a very active person. He is very much interested in digital electronics, microprocessor, and simulation and all. He has done innovative projects, that is many projects, as well as he is guiding more number of students in projects. So he voluntarily he came and he suggested, "Sir, I am going to take a session on how to communicate for making a positive impression." So far, two of our students have handled student webinars, and this is the third one. So with this brief introduction, I welcome G. Yuvaraj. Yuvaraj, go ahead. All the
Okay,
best.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving introduction about me, sir. First of all, I welcome you all the participants to this webinar on how to communicate for making a positive impression. And I would like to thank our college management and our CEO, Dr. S. Chandrasekhar, sir, and our principal, Dr. S. Ramabalan, sir, for their wonderful support. And I would also like to thank our EEE department HOD Dr. V. Mogan sir and our student webinar series coordinator Dr. T. Suresh Padmanabhan sir for giving this wonderful opportunity to me. Thank you, sir. Okay. In this, we are going to learn how to communicate for making a positive impression. Okay. And due to poor internet connectivity, I turned off my video for better voice quality. Okay. Okay. How to communicate for making a positive impression. That is our topic. First, if we want to be a master in a particular domain, we will have to understand it from its basics. So, first we will see about the objectives of this webinar and introduction about communication, process of the communication, and what are the barriers in the communication, and what are the types of communication, especially non-verbal and verbal communication.
யார் இது நிக்குது? வேணா.
Mr. Yuvaraj? Mr. Yuvaraj, it's not audible. Hello? Mr. Yuvaraj? Hello,
Sir?
Yuvaraj? It's not audible. You are presenting?
Yes, sir.
It's okay?
Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Very well. But the screen share is not on.
Okay, sir.
Show the screen and present.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Continue. What happened?
Okay.
So audience are requested to wait for another few seconds. Yeah. We are back. Sorry for the intervene. Yes, you continue. Yuvraj, continue please.
Sir, I'm from first or continuing as well.
Maybe starting from objectives.
Okay, sir. Okay. First,
Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay, present.
Okay, sir.
Right. Continue.
First, okay, sir. First objective is by this webinar, you can able to enumerate the importance of communication. You are going to explain the process of communication, and you will be able to discuss about the various barriers in communication. And you have an thought that verbal and non-verbal communication and identify the difference between them, and at last how to use the communication effectively. Introduction about communication. First, what is communication? Already you know about the basic details about communication. It is nothing but the process or act of sending information from one person to another person or from one place to another place. The definition of communication may look simple, but actual process is slightly complex than what we think and what we know about it. Okay, then why should you communicate? What are the needs and what are the necessity to communicate? First need is to give information. The main important need of communication is to share our thoughts or share our knowledge to others and to persuade. Persuade means force or convince others through our argument or uh, by our wonderful speech. The main example for explaining about persuade is marketing. And express the need. We have to express our needs and wants by communication. For example, if you have doubts in my explanation, you can clear your doubt by asking me a question. And some factors influencing this type, which are situation, feelings, request, and the most important thing is, if you want to ask something to others, keep your tone as calm as possible and pick a time when others can give their full attention to satisfy your need. Okay, the last need of communication is to form social bonding. Our social bonding with family, friends, neighbors, and colleagues is most important throughout our life. It will boost our mental, uh, mental and emotional strength. We can form the social bonding by ask about others' families, talk about their interests, hobbies, and bring ideas and asking good question and listen for answer. Always start with a positive introduction to forming social bonding and be real and comfortable while communicate. Okay. Next, the process of communication. Every communication involves at least one sender, one message, and one receiver. The sender converts its thoughts or data into a message. This process is known as, you can see in the slide, this process is known as encoding. The receiver gets the message and understanding it. This process is known as decoding. In many communication, the message from the sender is not received exactly as the sender sent. So the feedback is needed to check the mutual understanding between sender and receiver. After understanding the message, the receiver converts its understandable message into a feedback message. The sender decodes it, which means understanding it, which is he is again decoding it to check the to check the mutual understanding between them. This is the process of communication. Next, barriers of communication. Barriers means the transmission of message from sender to receiver can be affected by some things, some environmental things. This is called as barriers in communication. The various types of barriers are physical barriers, cultural barriers, psychological barriers, language barriers, and gender barriers. Okay, first, physical barriers. Physical barrier is mainly arises due to environmental and natural conditions during conversation. There are mainly 4 types of physical barriers. They are separation barrier, distance barrier, noise barrier, and time barrier. First, separation barrier. In this, the message sender and receiver are separated by wall or separated by something physically. If there is no physical disturbances in between them, there will not have any problem in communication. But if they are separated by this disturbance, the voice is not much audible to both of them. We can't rectify this barrier without using technologies. But nowadays we have a mobile phone so that we can rectify this separation barrier. And another one is distance barrier. In this, communication is affected because of longer distance between sender and receiver. For example, take one organization. If one staff in organization works at ground floor and another one is at first floor, they should communicate with each other, but there is a distance is the main barrier, so they can't communicate effectively. It can be rectified by making phone calls or emails and face-to-face communication. And another one is noise barrier. Noise barrier occurs while communication due to internal or external noise. Due to this barrier, the receiver may mishear or misunderstand the communication. In this, I told that internal or external noise. In this, internal means sender speaks loudly. If sender speaks loudly, the receiver will think about the loudness of the sender. He might not think about his words. He will be think about his loudness. And external refers to they speak with correct volume, but there is external noise which resists the communication. And the last physical barrier is time barrier. It arises when people have to communicate across different time zones and in different countries. There is a large time difference between San Francisco in US and Bangalore in India. You can see in the slide there is a huge time difference between these 2 cities. So it cannot be rectified by this, because when we are doing our work in our workplace, the people in San Francisco are sleeping at that time. There is no solution for this kind of time barriers. And next one is cultural barriers. People from different parts of the world have a different way of speaking, different way of displaying emotions, and different behaviors. The cultural behaviors, including some factors, which are greeting, stereotyping, behavior, and gestures. Greeting means it is the action of giving a sign of welcome. Every country or every place has unique greeting style. The most commonly used greeting word in all places is hello. different. I would like to say different greeting styles in different places. In Russia, their greeting style is handshake. In New Zealand, hongi. Hongi means touching nose by nose. In India, already we know about it. That is namaste is our greeting style. And stereotyping. Stereotyping means we are making assumption about some people or group of people. It may cause, it may lead to cultural barrier. For example, normally American is thought to be as impatient and arrogant, but not all Americans are impatient and arrogant. Some Americans are friendly as well as tolerant, but we assume that all Americans are impatient and arrogant. That is one of the factor. And behavior. In cultural barriers, behavior is the most important thing. Behavioral difference between various employees working in a same organization can cause misunderstanding. Every cultural people has unique rules and regulation, has unique guidelines about what is considered as a good behavior. For example, in Japan, uh, making eye contact while conversation is considered as rude, but in India, making eye contact is most important key thing while communication. In Japan, it is considered as rude, and they teach their children to focus on the neck while conversation. And how to overcome this cultural barrier? Learn few country behaviors that is nearer to our country. We can overcome by learning some country behaviors that is nearer to our country and learn our client's culture to overcome this cultural barrier and be open for trying new things. Okay. Next, psychological barrier. It occurs due to mental or psychological state of sender and receiver. The factors involved in psychological barrier: retention capability, which means uh, memory capable ability or memory capacity. Everyone has unique memory capacity. Somebody has storing, has able to store many things. Okay, and it is the memory capable ability, which is retention capability. And another one factor is inattentiveness, not paying attention while communication causes, it is by psychological barrier. And status is the most important factors, which means there are two types of status: social status and professional status causes as to involved in psychological barrier. And another one is closed mind, which means by nature human is simply slightly selfish due to competition or mistrust, which causes a man as closed mind. And emotional, it is an imaginary wall that keeps you from openly communicate your thoughts and feelings to others. At last, attitude and opinion. Everyone has unique attitude and opinion. This may lead to increase the psychological barrier. Okay. And another one barrier is language barrier. In this, language acts as a barrier. The inability to communicate using a language is known as language barrier. It is mainly involved by three factors: semantic, jargon, and accent. Before going into these three, you can see in the slide uh, the words that hello, hola, bonjour, hello, like that. These are the greeting styles of different peoples, which means hello is a word that is our style to greeting, our greeting style to introduce others or to making for making social bonding with others. And another one is hola, it is a Spanish greeting style. And another one is bonjour, it is a French people greeting style. And another one is hello, which is a German people greeting style. Okay. Now we go to these three topics: semantic, jargon, and accent. Semantic means we have seen some words which has different meanings, but same word and same spelling, but it has different meanings. It is, for example, the word crane, C-R-A-N-E, crane. The bird sanctuary is full of cranes. In this sentence, the crane represents a bird. The builder used a crane to lift heavy materials. In this, the crane is a metal structure used for lifting some heavy materials. Okay, you can see the difference between these two words, but same word but different meaning. It is mainly caused by bad expression or unclarified assumptions or faulty translations. And another one is jargon. Jargon is a specific language which is used by some groups or some professions. It is mainly used to shorthand our communications. And if someone is unaware of jargon used in a particular company or particular place, then it will become a barrier to him. For example, catchy. You can already you know about it. I think already you know about it. Catchy means in computing it refers to a place for storing the for short-term memory storage. And due diligence. It is a business jargon. Due diligence. It refers to research that should be done before making an important business decision. Due diligence. And another one, military jargon, is abroad, which means absent without leave. These are the jargons. And another one is accent, pronunciation of words. Every country people has unique pronunciation. For example, the word schedule, schedule, schedule. We can say it as schedule or schedule, like that. And another word, hour, our. You can say it as hour or hour. And another one word is often, often, often. We can say it as often or often. And the people from the place Yorkshire, uh, it is a place in UK, they drop the H's in the words, which means, for example, we can take the word house, we pronounce it by house, but they pronounce the word as house. They drop the H's, O-U-S-E, house. Okay. How to overcome this language barrier? Use commonly used language, does not use jargon and semantic. Use commonly used language and use visual methods of communication, and provide classes for the employees working in one particular organization. And it acts as a challenge for working with people of different cultures and different backgrounds to explore their innovations and creativity for making success. The next barrier is perceptual barrier. It is how we look at our surrounding from our point of view. It is internal thought or assumption. It can lead to confusion or misunderstanding, false beliefs resulting in poor communication. For example, if we made a call with our friend through phone, if he not able to take a call, so we assume that he is angry with you, but original reason is not angry with you. He may go outside without taking mobile phone. That may be the reason. Okay. Okay, we completed the barriers in communication. Next, types of communication. In this, there are 4 types of communication: verbal, non-verbal, written, and visual. Written communication is also comes under verbal communication, and visual communication also comes under non-verbal communication. Verbal communication means by using language or by using words to transfer information or sharing something by using words through speaking. Non-verbal communication means transfer information without using language. And written communication means writing or typing or printing symbols for communicate effectively. And visual communication means photographs, by using photographs, art, drawings, sketches, And normally picture is worth of 1,000 words, and technology development causes visual communication as more easier way than what it was before. Technology development is improved as much. First, non-verbal communication. I already told that it is a transmission of messages or information without using words by expressions. It strengthens a first impression and making it as a positive impression in common situation. Okay, non-verbal communications. Some factors involves non-verbal communication, and you can see one image in this slide. Non-verbal communication has more weightage than the verbal communication. The factors involving in non-verbal communication are facial expressions, paralanguage, gesture, posture, eye contact, and physical appearance. First, facial expressions. Facial expressions plays an important role while conveying a message or while conversation. The human face is extremely very expressive. It can be able to convey the countless emotions without saying a single word. And some facial expressions are happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear. Everything has unique facial expressions. And the most important thing is there has to be a sync between your expression and your words. Else, people will subconsciously respond to the facial expression. For example, if you are asking to touch eyes by touching nose, the audience also touching nose. They always respond to the facial expression. It is the most important example for that. And another one non-communication tool is paralanguage. It is known as vocalics. It is a component of meta communication that can modify meaning. It involves tone, pace, clarity, and volume. First, tone. Tone means it is not about the words we say. It's about the way we say it. It makes a positive impression to our audience. And another one is pace. Pace means speed at which the language is spoken. We need to find a speaking pace of our audience that holds audience attention. It must be significant in how an audience listening to a speech. It may be slow, the pace may be slow or fast or moderate based on our audience attention. And another one is clarity. Rather than trying to say too many things at the same time, make sure that we state clearly what is the need of our audience. And so make it clear about the intention of our message, which is clarity. And volume. Volume means already you know about that loudness of speaker. Voice volume is neither too low nor too high. It must be intermediate in between them. Okay. Next, gestures. Gestures normally they are physical actions which communicate with the onlooker. It is made by moving the parts of our body or movement of hands, face, or other parts of our body. There are two factors involving gestures: adapters and emblems. Before going to that, you can see in the slide the some of the gestures: bored, defensive, elated, depressed, like that. Okay, let's jump into factors. Adapters. Adapters means self-touching behaviors or adapting something in our hand. For example, clicking pens, shake our legs, twirling hair, or folding the hands. And another one subtopic inside the adapter is object adapter. By keeping something in hand, for example, by keeping paper or pen in hand, that is object adapters. And another one is emblem. Emblem means it is an expression by hand movements. For example, thumbs up is a sign for giving okay, well. It is a sign for okay. And another one non-communication factor is posture. Posture conveys our information, our personality, such as confidence, submissiveness, and openness. It is Nothing but how you sitting and how we stand. Based on our posture, a person looking at you can determine how you feel. For example, if we should really focus on the posture, in many situations, others decide and conclude a person's personality and state of mind from our postures. Normally, we can say one example in an interview, sitting properly in the chair without swinging our leg, swinging or hanging our leg, will prove to the interviewer that the person is in control and he is not afraid of anything. For example, he is not afraid of the interview which is conducted. And another one example is sitting by crossing the legs and the knees bent conveys our comfortableness to others. And stand straight and hand in a pant pocket uh, will shows that we are relaxing. Okay, these are the some examples of postures. And the most important thing is eye contact. Yes, making eye contact shows the level of commitment in the conversation. Maintaining eye contact during the conversation shows that you are interested in the topic and you are very attentive in that. It makes you to look attentive, interested, and credible. And I had already told that eye contact is strongly influenced by social behavior. It is not the consistent one in all cultures, in all countries. In our country, eye contact is defined as a sign of confidence. Already, I told about Japan's culture, and some of the countries are not recommending the eye contact. They are South Korea, Cambodia, Japan, and yes, North Korea. These are the countries. They are not recommending the eye contact. They considering the eye contact as rude. Okay, and too much eye contact can express our aggression and anger. In our culture, without eye contact, effective communication and making positive information can't be done. Next, physical appearance. uh, the clothes you wear play an important role in physical appearance. The factors we should have that in mind. They are color, clothing, and hairstyles are the physical appearing things. Dressing demonstrate a person's values, cultural inclination, level of confidence, and mood. According to normally people say when they first see their eyes on you, judgments about our personality and ability are going to be concluded. Some example for physical appearance, some good example for physical appearance are body cleanliness, clean nails, shiny nose, no tattoos on your body, being appropriately dressed. And next, verbal communication. Verbal communication is the use of words and sounds to express ourselves and to share our information with other people. Both spoken and written communication are comes under this verbal communication. And the most important types of verbal communication are intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, small group communication, public communication. First, intrapersonal communication. Intrapersonal communication means it is a communication which is private and restricted to some peoples or restricted to ourselves. It involves silent conversation like that. And another one is interpersonal communication, which means communication takes place between two individual person, face to face conversation or one to one conversation, or the interpersonal communication, interpersonal verbal communication. And another one is small group communication. In this, more than two people involved in the communication, and the number of participants should be small for allowing each participants for interaction and for giving ideas and making conversation with others. So more than two people, but less than 20 people. And public communication means one individual addresses a large number of people. For example, election campaign and public speeches are the examples of public communication. Okay, here you can see face-to-face communication, written communication, telephonic communication. These are the examples of verbal communication. And at last, effective communication. How to communicate effectively for making a positive impression. Effective communication arises only when verbal and non-verbal communication work together. And nowadays, visual communication also makes very effective, because picture in visual communication is worth of 1,000 words. Development in technology made visual communication more easier than what it was in the past. For example, effective communication. Example for effective communication: addressing a small group of people with smile and making eye contact by good facial expressions will hold their attention. Some tips to communicate effectively. Okay, I will give some tips to communicate effectively for making positive impression. Think before you speak. Think before you speak. What is the points you will discuss with others? First think. Next, be clear and concise your thoughts or points, and speak with confidence. Your confidence makes us comfortable to learn something from you, and vary your vocal tone based on the things you will discuss with others. And active listening. For effective communication, you should uh, you should not only be a good speaker but also be a good listener. Always stay focused on the other person by actively listening, and try to listen more than you talk. And giving and receiving feedback. Yes. Next, respect others while communicate, and make eye contact. For example, if you are shy or nervous, but the eye contact will help to improve your trust, and it makes to engage our audience. It is a tricky method to communicate effectively. Make eye contact. It is the most important one in our country. And handshake. Offer a normal handshake. Handshake is a professional way to introduce yourself, and your handshake should convey your confidence and show your pleasant feeling. At last, have a warm smile. It shows you are friendly, and you can create a more comfortable environment to start communicating. Okay, from this, you will learn how to communicate effectively, and what are the barriers and how to overcome this, and what are the process involved in the communication. And at last, I think you will able to know, you able to explain how to communicate effectively. Okay, thank you for actively participating in this webinar. Does anybody have any queries?
Yeah,
Sir,
Mr. Yuvraj,
sir,
it's a very good presentation. Really,
thank
you
you, sir.
have done very well. It's
Thank
so
you, sir.
crystal clear. The points are so clear. Thanks to the technology, you did well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so congratulations. And related to the queries,
Okay, sir.
just look into the chat area.
Okay, sir.
Uh, most of them, most of them told it's nice. Okay, and one of them asked about the PPT. Can
Okay,
you
sir.
kindly send me the webinar recording to mail ID, Mr. Jahan N. This will be posted today or tomorrow in the YouTube. The link will be sent to you in the email ID. Okay, Mr. Jahan, please note down the recording will be sent to the YouTube. That link will be sent to your email ID. So carry on with the recordings. And any questions for Yuvaraj? Kindly send PPT to participants' mail ID. So some of them ask for the PPTs.
Okay, sir.
Possibly less number of questions.
Okay,
Almost
sir.
nil. Okay, we have some questions.
Okay, sir.
How to impress the people? Maybe by in a first chance, maybe in the first look.
If we want to influence others, we should make a first greeting style should be distinct. Your greeting style should be unique and distinct. It makes others to communicate with you, and it makes others to form social bonding with you. And always have a warm smile. If you are thinking about anything, but always have a warm smile. And uh, if you meet some new person, always offer a firm handshake with others. That makes others comfortable to convey, and it makes to influence others.
Is that acceptable in the Corona period of time? Handshake is acceptable.
Yes, due to this situation, it is not acceptable one. But after this,
That just for fun, I asked the
okay, sir. Okay, sir.
question. Okay, good.
Okay, sir.
Nicely answered. With a neat smile and with the good, unique greetings, you can maybe influence the people. Good.
Okay, sir.
Maybe from your experience,
Okay, sir.
how will you separate the people?
Sir?
The idea
What, sir?
from your experience, how you separate the people, those who are making the impressions.
Sir, your voice is breaking, sir.
Okay, can you separate the people in a sense? Can you classify the people while making the impressions? Maybe some people are making like this, some people are making like that. In that way, can you classify the people
In which way, Suresh?
in some kind
Classification
of
of
ways?
peoples by impression, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So, got it.
Okay, sir. We can classify the people. Some people are everyone has a unique attitude. So somebody has to meet a person who is talkative, and some classification of peoples are not interested to share their thoughts with talkative people. So based on their attitude and opinion, we can classify the people, sir. Based on their attitude and opinion.
Great answer. Thank you. I didn't
Thank you,
expect the
sir.
answers from you like that. Okay, thank you very much. So
Thank you, sir.
we'll wait for another one person, Miss Ramya Navneedam. Can you able to ask question now, Miss Ramya? You raised the hand. Can you ask the question now? Can't it? Unmute yourself and ask, Miss Ramya. Okay, she told that nice presentation. Keep it up. Will you get certificate? Yes. Actually, we'll send the feedback link today or tomorrow to your email ID. So by filling it up, you will get the e-certificate. Right? Thank you very much. Thanks for participating. Thank you, Yuvaraj. Thanks,
Thank you, sir.
everyone. So
Thank you so much,
I'd
sir.
like to thank the secretary, the CEO, our beloved principal, Dr. S. Ramabalan, who has joined earlier, and our beloved Chudi, Dr. V. Mohan, and our beloved professors and other professors in the other departments, and faculties from various colleges, of course, the student members of our institution and other institutions of India. Thank you very much. Thank you, one and all. Thanks. Good evening. Bye.
Thank you, sir.